In today's bloxburg video, I built a hair salon in my new town, Los Angeles. Hey glossettes, welcome back. How are you guys doing today? Now for the first time in months, we are finally back in Los Angeles, my bloxburg city plot, or should I say Los Angeles 2.0. But anyways, today we will actually be working on the second building in the town. Don't look at that, that is a sneak peek for something else. But yeah, we are going to be working on our second building, which is actually a hair salon, and this has been so requested, especially by one individual in particular. Looking at you, Ari, she has been hounding me for this for months. But I'm finally doing it, and as you can see behind me, I do already have like a rough structure built, and this is where we're going to be building today. So it's kind of just on the corner of like the main street, and I do also, as per usual, already have some design ideas for this. So what I'm thinking for the exterior, I made this little sketch. I kind of like the idea of having like these strands of hair looping around, maybe with some like little rollers and hair clips and accessories on it, and in the middle some like scissors or something kind of like styling the hair. We also need some sort of logo for this too. I mean, this would be incredibly difficult, so I don't know if I'll end up sticking with this fully, but I do think this would be very cute, and I also think it'll probably mainly have like a white background and then obviously very kind of colorful things added onto that. I want like pink windows. I kind of want one of those like barber kind of poles outside, but pink obviously. But this is the only kind of like specific idea I have for the exterior. For the interior, however, I do have some ideas on my beloved Pinterest board. So one of the images I've had pinned for this for literal years is this one, because I really like the kind of look of having like the hair dryers on the wall, and also this kind of like vintagey, you know, the big thing that they put like over their hair. Like I kind of want to have like a very kind of vintage feel to this. Here we are again with like the pink barber pole. I think this would be really cool for the outside. This one here with kind of like the glass cubes, I thought this would be kind of cool for a wall, even though it's AI, which is bad. Pinterest is so full of it now. I'm gonna leave that rant for another day. I really like these kind of pink chairs. I also really like this kind of vibe with like the silver and like the neon. And then I just have another picture of kind of like the hair things up here because I really want one of these. Oh my gosh, look at this one. Wait, this is so cool. But yeah, if I hop into build mode, that is kind of like what I'm going for. Like I really want to have like a kind of really cute little vibe to it. So the inside plan is, so over here next to the door, this is kind of like a reception desk, and then we have a wall kind of separating it from like the salon behind it. And I think this could be really cool if we use like the glass kind of cube design for this with like a big logo on it or something. These three cubes are meant to be like the hair salon tables where you actually get your haircut. This can be like a really cute waiting area. We also have this area here, which is where I kind of wanted to put like the big, I need to Google what they're called. Okay, they're called hood dryers or hair steamers apparently. I don't know what it is, but I just really want some of these. So yeah, these things basically, I was gonna put them here, and then in here, this is kind of gonna be like a hair wash kind of area, but I might swap it around because obviously this has windows now, and I feel like we need to attach them to a wall. So maybe back here, I don't know, honestly, I don't know how the layout will work back here. I think what we're gonna start with is like the kind of salon chairs things over here, like the haircutting station and the waiting room. Okay, I've decided the first thing I want to do is work on a chair design, because obviously I can't kind of make like the table mirror area until I know how tall the chairs are going to be. And salon chairs are always spinning. You can always spin them around, but this is kind of like the one I'm going to use as a base. But what we're going to do is actually add a lot of detail on top of this chair with basic shapes, because this is not cute enough by far. Oh my gosh, wait, that is so cute. Wait, could we make it into a heart? Okay, new plan. We're going to try and make this chair into a heart. I have an idea. Okay, so if I grab this pillow, could I not like make this like the bottom of the chair, and then I can use a heart pillow for like the back? I'm actually so excited for this. I haven't been excited to make a build in a while. It's also been months since I've even done a build video, except the bunker one, but I have missed it so much. How have you guys been? I feel like it's been so long since I've had like a sit down video where I can yap, but I say that like every time. I need to stop doing that, okay? It's because things always come up where I need to take a break, and then the only videos I'll kind of do is like news videos and stuff. Like it feels like I'm so bad at being consistent with builds. Okay, this kind of sucks so far, but I'm gonna keep going. But how have you guys been? This time it genuinely has been a long time because I intentionally took a break. I remember back in like, I think it was March or April, I had like a couple things happen like a week after I'd done my last build, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to like sit down and kind of tell you guys in a video, because I was like, I have so much to say. And then like what, 2-3 months passed by? April, May, June, July, 4 months pass by, nearly 5, and I still haven't done another one. So much has been going on. Why is this chair so ugly? Okay, this is gonna take me a minute. But yeah, so much has been going on. We have so much to catch up on. As I've mentioned in a video before, but I actually keep like a little list of like things to mention in videos, like when they happen, and it's so long now. I feel like the biggest thing that's happened since I've done a build video is I hit 100,000 subscribers, which was back in April. Like it's been a while, okay? This is what I'm saying. I haven't sat down and talked in ages, but first of all, it was crazy. I already said, like, I already did like a massive sob story post at the time, but like, thank you guys so much. I can't even put into words how insane it is. It's still insane. Every time I look at it, I kind of freak out. I'm also still planning on doing like a couple kind of like special videos for 100k. However, the reason I haven't done it yet, and it's been so late, is because another big thing that happened is I moved house. I'm in a new house now. I have like a new studio. That is a whole other thing that I'm planning on kind of designing with you guys. I have like an office now, but because it's been so chaotic with like moving, I haven't had time to do like 100. No, I have had time to do one, but the thing is I didn't want to do an 100k video until I was like all moved and everything, because I didn't want it to be rushed. And obviously one of the kind of parts of the 100k thing that you guys won't let me forget is that I promised to bake a cake. And so obviously when I was moving, my kitchen was like all in boxes, so I couldn't do it, but I'm gonna do one soon, okay? Just let me get settled in a bit more. This chair is driving me crazy. But yeah, I have kind of like cool plans for that. I moved house. I'm in a really cool house now. Oh my gosh, I went to Spain. Me and my boyfriend randomly went to Spain in April, which was really fun. We went to this place called Calpe, which was really cute. It had like this giant kind of cliff next to it. We were in like a really nice hotel, and then our hotel room was like really far up, and we could see like this big cliff. Okay, this heart thing's getting in the way. We could see this big cliff from the window, the balcony, and it was really cool. That was really fun. Obviously we had the bloxburg map revamp. Oh my gosh, and like the week before, I think 2 weeks before we actually went to Spain, this was one of the things, this is one of the main things. I was like, oh my god, I have to tell this in a video. Okay, so if you didn't know, which some of you will know, but my boyfriend, basically, I live in England, my boyfriend lives in Scotland. I know a few of you kind of like are familiar with him because I post him sometimes on like TikTok and stuff. So he lives in Scotland, I live in England, which means we kind of have to travel to see each other quite a bit. And one time before we went to Spain, a couple of weeks before, I was up in Scotland visiting him, and we went to this restaurant that we kind of like have been to quite a few times, and we were just sat, like we had dinner. I got this steak, not gonna lie, it's kind of funny because I got this steak and it wasn't very good, right? So I was kind of sat saying to him before we got the bill for this restaurant, I was like, I might see if I can get my steak refunded because it was so bad. Like, I'm not one to complain, okay, especially not like asking for refunds, because I am anxious enough talking to like waitresses as it is, but it was so bad that I was like, okay, I really want to see if I can get a refund. And then the waitress comes over and we ask for the bill, and then she looks at us weirdly and she's like, the thing is, someone's already paid for your bill. And I was like, what? And she starts telling us how this businessman who's in the restaurant, she doesn't tell us who he is, by the way, she tells us how he's paid like for our food. He just randomly paid for our food, this guy that we don't even know. And apparently it's because he was like on a business trip and he has like so much money he can spend on the business trip, and he decided to pay for our food. And it was honestly so crazy. So that was kind of freaky. It's even funnier because I was going to try and get a refund anyway, so technically it kind of saved me the bother, but she didn't tell us like who it was. So when we were walking out, I felt really awkward because there was like 3 or 4 businessmen all sat near each other, and I just avoided eye contact because I didn't want to like look at him in case he was expecting us to like say something, because obviously we didn't know who it was. But yeah, that was really crazy. What else happened? There was something else that happened that trip that I was also like, okay, I'm gonna have to mention this in a video. Oh my god, yeah, my sunglasses broke. I feel like that's way not as cool as the other thing, but I was so sad. So I got these sunglasses off Vinted. Also, how cool is this chair looking? Anyways, they're like these Missoni sunglasses, but they are like a collab with oh my god, what's it called? That crystal brand, like Swarovski or something. So they have like these pink like little jewels in the side, right? I accidentally dropped them on the floor and they broke and I couldn't find the screw. So I had to get a new pair, which was really sad. But I guess someone paying for our dinner kind of made up for that. But it was just so weird. Like, that's never happened before. And then we went to Spain, which was very cool. I went on a plane for the first time in like, I don't even know, like 10 years, 8 years, I don't know. But this chair, this is looking pretty good. I want to test it quickly to make sure you can still sit on it, because I really like everything in my build to be functional. I haven't even put glass in the windows yet, but here we go. This is so cute. Wait, that's so cute. It works. Okay, I might change the color, but what I'm gonna do now is just try and see how many like desk things we can fit in here. Obviously, I'm gonna have to copy and paste like this whole design. 3, 4, 4 maybe? Okay, we're gonna do 4. I'm gonna have to rotate this every time as well. I hate copying and pasting things. I just can't believe it's summer already. I feel like it's getting even closer to summer being over. It's nearly August, which, not gonna lie, in my mind, I know August is still summer, but I always see it as like autumn. I don't really see it as like summertime. I'm really looking forward to Halloween content and Christmas, like I always am. That's my favorite time of year. How am I gonna do these? Okay, wait, do I need to move the chairs forward? Why have I done them so far back? But yeah, I feel like my favorite kind of content to do is Halloween and Christmas. It honestly feels like the year is kind of just like me waiting for the end of the year to do seasonal content. Hopefully I can get quite a lot of Gloss Angeles done before then, because I kind of feel like I want to lock in and build as much of this as possible. Oh my god, imagine decorating it for Christmas. So once I finished the chairs, I started trying to make like a hair washing station. So basically a chair with a sink built into the back. I decided to use like the pool lounges and just build basic shapes around it, but the sink was so hard to figure out because all of the sinks in game are either like in a counter already, or you have to place them on a wall, which is so annoying. But I do think they turned out kind of cute. It's just obviously not very functional, because if you use the sink, it would just make you stand like in the chair. Anyways, next I attempted to make that kind of like glass block wall thing with the transparent cube basic shapes, and then the wooden plank structurals for like the grout in the middle, but I kind of quickly bailed on this idea when I realized how much plot data this would take, and instead I added just like a strip of these near the chairs. However, I did still use it more later on in the video, which you'll see. Then I decided I actually wanted to make the wall like a hair swirl behind the reception desk, just like the original plans for the outside. So I made a swirl shape kind of like sketched onto the wall, and then I used triangles and cubes to kind of slowly piece this together in this big shape, following the sketch as accurately as possible. Not gonna lie, it does kind of remind me of like a toothpaste swirl. Then I made this kind of like couch area in the back room for where the big kind of hair drying machines would go, as I really wanted it to feel kind of cozy in here. Then finally I got the hair dryers, and first of all made sure that the basic shape kind of trick would work on them and let me transform them, which it did, thank goodness. And then second of all, I began adding these to the wall around the mirrors I placed down, just to see how it would look to kind of like match the inspo pic I showed you guys earlier. And that's pretty much it. Okay, I feel like I've done quite a bit of work off camera. It looks so different, but let me kind of talk you through what I've actually done here. So I really wanted to have like wooden kind of paneling on the front. I don't know why. I saw like an image on Pinterest of like the outside of a building that had kind of like this, and I just really wanted it, but I couldn't find like a texture that looked nice, and I feel like everything looks better when it's kind of like 3D. So we have all of this kind of like wooden paneling around the entire thing. The only issue is I had to replace the windows with kind of rectangles instead of the curves at the top, because it would have taken so many little basic shapes to kind of do the wooden panels going around the curve. So I did have to change it, because I cannot be doing like a billion basic shapes. We already have enough on this. Obviously this is like a whole city plot, and the reason that the first Gloss Angeles was discontinued was because we ran out of plot data. So I'm gonna have to try and be careful, but I think it looks really good. Okay, I really forgot what I was about to say, but yeah, this is kind of how the outside is looking. If we go inside, as you can see, it is incredibly pink as per usual, but I am actually gonna work in like a bunch of other colors. I just really like the walls in here. Like I was really struggling on if I should make them pink or not, and then I added like the wall trims, and I feel like it looks pretty good, especially the corner where the door is. I think this looks pretty cute. But yeah, we're gonna work on kind of putting a bunch on the walls. Obviously I started experimenting with the hair dryers and stuff. I want to have loads of posters. Still unsure about the hair thing. Honestly, I don't know if we're gonna manage to put the hair like all the way around the outside, maybe just in the middle, or maybe I'll have to go for a different design, because obviously I do have to try and limit basic shapes, even though the first two builds in this have really not limited at all. But let me hop into build mode. So the other thing that I was kind of thinking is, you see the glass blocks I was experimenting with? Obviously these are so expensive. Like this is like 3k for this kind of strip, and I had them here to kind of like section off the hair salon area to the waiting room, and I do think it looks good, but I think it would look even better if we added them along this doorway. So obviously this is going to be the bit where they sit with like the big hair things. I forgot what they're called already, but this is going to be like that. So I want it to kind of be really cozy, and I just think this would make the kind of entrance look a lot better if we have these and then they go like all the way across the top, like more of like a unique door frame. I think that's really cute. I was also experimenting with the kind of like, I guess, table things. I really like this. I feel like it looks like angel wings. We also need to figure out what what we're gonna call this place, because obviously I need to have like signs and stuff, and I did ask you guys in my Discord server what it should be called, so I think I'm gonna pick through kind of like your guys' suggestions and then everyone can kind of vote on them. I kind of feel like we should work on this area and getting this done, but then also, okay, yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. I think I'm gonna try and finish all of the interior before we do the exterior and like the hair, because I am dreading trying to figure this out. Placing down that nail varnish has just reminded me I am actually gonna make a nail salon in this build, which should be very cute. It's gonna be across the street. I think that might be one of my next ones. I'm gonna be real though, I'm suffering so bad right now. So you know how I was saying that I moved house and that now I have like my own office? Well, the issue with this is basically in this new house I have the entire top floor of the house, which is actually the attic, which is great. I'm incredibly lucky. However, it is so hot up here. It is crazy. I am suffering so much. Oh my god, what if we had a glass like under the hair kind of swirl? Okay, I'm getting distracted, but yeah, it's so hot and I can't even open the window, which is what I've been doing when I edit and stuff, because I now live near the beach, so all you can hear is seagulls when I open the window. It's a nightmare. Sometimes I sit on the roof and because I'm so far up I can just hear it so clearly. So I have my office up here and my bedroom. Oh wait, that's kind of cool. Wait, is it cool? I'd have to kind of shrink them down because I'm kind of using unnecessary data for the ones hidden in the hair. I don't know, we can worry about that later. I'm just really struggling. It's like, what do I put in this corner? I was thinking over here to have some shelves here with all the shampoo and stuff on, because obviously this is where they wash the hair, and to have them kind of like in the style of bubbles. Also the floor. Okay, this is the last kind of tangent I'll go on. So I really wanted tiles, right? But I didn't want to do pink because this would clash too much with the walls and everything. I didn't want to do black because then the chairs kind of blend in and I just felt like it was too harsh. Then I was thinking, what about blue? Ooh, not that one. This one, like a blue like this. Okay, but then it clashes with the, oh my god, this is gonna really annoy me. Or maybe I just keep it wood. Okay, this is, I feel like I hate using this wood though, because I use this for like every build. Honestly, this build is testing my patience and I'm not even that far into it. Okay, we'll worry about that later. What we're gonna do now is try and make this area look cool. So I do like this. Like, I like the kind of feature of this going up here. I think it'd be cool if we added another bit up here. I want to build a few of like these, for example, you know, like the rolling carts that they have like the hair products in. We need some of those. I'm thinking we maybe have like a cute kind of quote or something like this above the desks, like along here, but I don't know how it would fit because I don't really know how high the mirrors are gonna go, because I want to kind of add like a frame around them. Maybe I should do that now. Let me see how the flower pillow looks for kind of details on the top. Honestly, using pillows for details is like the best hack in the game, especially for kind of plot data. Does this look cute or ugly? But I think keeping the mirrors plain, because obviously we're gonna have quite a lot of detail above them, maybe might be the best way to do it. And I also have these little shelves here that I measured out so I can put things like the hairspray on. I think I'm slowly starting to like how this is turning out. So over here I actually added like tiles along the bottom, made the glass bigger and added a little version of it on this side, and added more of like the hair dryers and straighteners on the wall. And then I think I'm gonna add a heart at the top of every mirror. I also did the archway over here and I am so in love with this. This looks so gorgeous, and I did the blocks under here as well. So we're slowly getting somewhere. I still might have a quote kind of like above the wall up here. I really want some cool lights though. I did debate having like these here, but they're kind of too big, and like maybe a light above each mirror. But oh yeah, I think we've also possibly decided on a name. So I got you guys to vote between Gloss Styles, Get Glossed, Gloss Emboss, and Gloopy Styles, because they were kind of like the top 4 we had, and so far everyone wants Gloss Styles, so I feel like that's gonna win. I kind of want Gloss Emboss or Get Glossed to win, but you know, the Discord server has spoken and I kind of can't go back on that. Oh my gosh, it'd be cool to have like these like underneath the, wait, what if I had the kind of big stars like underneath the chairs? Would that be cool? I'm kind of really determined to figure out a way to do this. Wait, this would be so cute though. Okay, this is looking pretty cute. The only issue is that the chairs are not in the middle at all, because I had to place it on large placement and I can't place the chairs on top. But I feel like that kind of looks more realistic, because obviously the chairs are going to move around when people are using them. So I'm kind of thinking, what if I rotate some of them so they're not kind of like directly forwards? Like if this one was kind of spun around a little bit like this. I'm just going to keep trying to slowly piece this together. I kind of want to work on this area. Like I kind of want this to be done before I move on. I feel like we need a really cool kind of light over here. I really want to put a lava lamp somewhere. I feel like this fits the vibe pretty well, but this wall would be really cool to kind of fill with pictures. I've also just had an idea of like maybe a hair dye mixing station, like if I had loads of colorful things. Okay, wait, I'm gonna use the retro counters, maybe put this here. Okay, is that kind of too big? Talking about hair dye, I have to fight the urge to dye my hair pink all the time. Obviously my Roblox avatar is very pink. I have pink hair, but I don't actually have pink hair in real life, and for some reason reason, loads of people think I do, or that I would be blonde. For some reason, apparently I give off blonde vibes. I don't know how to feel about that, but I have brown hair. But I want to dye it pink so bad. However, I feel like I would hate it. Like, I'd love it, but I'd hate it at the same time. And I feel like it's probably just obviously healthier for my hair, first of all, and second of all, better for me if I just kept it the same. But the urge is there, like fully kind of pink hair. I will show you guys, there's this one Pinterest image that I think about all the time, and I would love to have that specific hair, but I would just never do it. I feel like I couldn't commit to that. And also, obviously, because my hair's so dark brown, I would have to like bleach it, which I really don't want to do because obviously dyeing your hair is bad for your hair. However, I have considered kind of like maybe getting pink stripes. I don't think I would dye it straight away, but I think I might get extensions. Like, I keep thinking about it all the time, to the extent where I've just recently had new art made for my vlog channel and my main channels. But for the one on my vlog channel, because obviously it has to look like me in real life, I asked the artist to like make me a version with just brown hair and then another version where it had pink streaks, just in case I end up actually dyeing my hair. Let me put a sink in here. I feel like it needs a sink. Here we go. That's kind of like a cute little unit, I guess. I've had a vision. I feel like what would kind of be cool to use to make little hair dye mixes is a pestle and mortar, because it kind of reminds me of like the hair dye bowls, like the little black bowls you mix hair dye in. It's kind of giving those vibes, so maybe I can get away with just using this. And then what we can do is, the seagulls screaming outside my house, and then what we can do is grab basic shapes and add colorful hair dye. Let's go for red. Why not? We'll see if this works for the kind of test. Here we go. Does that look good? We could even put paintbrushes in it if we need to. We can just have like loads of hair dye kind of being mixed over here. And then I think the wall behind it, I will just kind of fill with pictures and decorations. Same with this wall over here. This is also going to be kind of like a display area. Okay, this area is finally actually looking good. This has been driving me crazy this entire time. But what I think I'm going to do is quickly just add a bunch of kind of decorative objects over here, and also look for some decals that'll kind of look cute. And then after this area is done, we are going to finish off in here and the little hair wash area, and just try and get as much finished so we can finally do the outside and tackle what on earth this is going to look like. Still don't know what I'm going to do with the ceiling, but we will get there. Okay, so I finally got it in a state where I feel like I actually like this build. It kind of looks a lot different from a few seconds ago, but I have added a bunch of decorations. I made these posters, which by the way, this one is incredible. I love this one so much. So I made a bunch of just kind of like hair, I guess, brands. We have like fruits, we have hair gloss, we have like a little model. Over here we have a couple of the same ones, and then this one is actually from 3 years ago. This was like a advert I did to have in a train station in one of my Christmas movies. And then we also have this, which is like a recreation of those Pinterest like eyeshadow palette things. But yeah, I've kind of finished everything off on this kind of wall. I just love this area. I love like the hair dye making station. I added the bubble shelves for kind of like the hair wash area. I kind of finished off this bit. I changed the color of the chairs. I added these like kind of heart zebra print like rugs, but I don't know how I feel about the zebra print. I can't tell if it looks really good or terrible. The waiting room's starting to look cute. Oh yeah, and I even added these kind of like tiles on the roof just to make it look kind of more like a store, I guess. And these are actually the new square ceiling light just kind of turned off, but it's starting to look really good. So what we're gonna do now is we are gonna make the hair machine thingies for this back room over here. So I actually do have a inspo image I'm kind of gonna follow, which is this one, because every single kind of image I find, they all look different. So I'm just deciding to stick with this. I have no idea how we're gonna make this because making round things is so hard. Oh, another thing I did as well is I tried to make a barber pole, but they are impossible. Like, it's so difficult. Like, what is this? I don't want to talk about it. We are gonna just get started with the contraption thing in here. So what I'm gonna do is, this is gonna be a lot of vertical cylinders, I'm guessing. I'm just gonna use this as kind of like the base. I don't know how big to scale it, because obviously it's kind of got to be just bigger than head size. So I compare it to my avatar. I'd say this looks kind of good. Wait, can I put it like on her? Oh my god, you can actually just kind of move things onto your avatar. So if it was above her like that, okay, I feel like that's kind of like a perfect size. I think we could probably fit like 4 or 6 of these kind of like in each panel, or 1 in each panel, obviously. I'm just gonna make the top of it round with the half sphere thing like this. I really hope they do a style salon kind of rework eventually, because how cool would it look if they actually kind of made it nicer? Hang on, what I'm gonna do, this needs to be thinner, I think. I don't know why this is making me giggle. It just looks so weird. Okay, and then what we need is the transparent bit that kind of runs along the bottom. Okay, we're slowly getting somewhere. This looks pretty good. Okay, I managed to kind of finish it, but there's just like this tiny gap, and we're just gonna leave it, and then that can just be at the back because I cannot be bothered to try and like fill that up because it's so hard to do things with like tiny parts. So to do the buttons, I'm just gonna grab a round rod and then use the side of it. So if you ever want smaller details then you can get with basic shapes, just use the side of kind of like structurals, and you can kind of put this here. Wait, that's actually so cute. I want them to be further down enough that it kind of looks like when you sit down it's over your head. It's so bright from the outside. I have struggled so much with the lighting in here. I don't know if it's because of the changes in the bloxburg lighting, but I just found it so difficult. But let me sit down and see if this is kind of above my head. Okay, wait. Okay, if I move that along, I think that'll look pretty good. Okay, finally, it kind of works. This one needs moving along a tiny bit, but this one actually looks pretty good. But what I'm gonna do now is I'm very quickly gonna finish in here and just kind of figure out how to decorate it, because pretty much all we need in here is just a few more wall decorations and to finish off the kind of thing that attaches these to the walls. And then what I'm gonna do is finally do the outside, and that should be pretty much it. So I finished the hair machine thingies and then moved on to kind of finishing the rest of the build, mainly being the exterior. I decided that doing all the strands of hair on the original plan all the way around would kind of be ridiculous, especially plot data wise, and instead I decided to copy and paste the hair thing from inside and just add a bit onto it so I could kind of nicely fit this above the salon door. Adding onto this, I still wanted to make the scissors from the original plan, so I made some of these out of basic shapes and then put them onto the hair, so it kind of looked like they were kind of chopping the hair, which actually took a long time to kind of get like the angle of these scissor blades right, honestly. I did try to write gloss styles on with structurals, but I couldn't get it as precise as I wanted it, so I did add the logo on later with a decal, but I also added some bubbles onto the hair as well, as if it was being washed. And after that was done, I had like this vision of kind of cute bushes at the windows, but none of the bushes would fit into the plant pots, so I made custom plant pots and custom bushes and placed these under each window, which looked adorable. Then I added a few other small details, and finally the build was finished. So I think that the salon is finally done, and I kind of love it. So this is Gloss Styles. Oh my god, okay, I actually think I really like it. I've hated so much of this build, but I kind of think it's definitely grown on me now. But this is the outside. I love the logo here. It looks so cute. I'm kind of glad we didn't end up doing like the hair around everything. I love the bushes as well, and this is kind of growing on me as well. It's not as bad as I thought at first, but this is super cute. This is the outside. We have the poster again because it's my favorite one. I also added these bead things, which by the way I love. I had them inside as well. I really wish I could do more of them, but they cost so much. But yeah, this is the outside all done, and we are gonna go inside. What I did want to do is I really wanted to do a poster of like Regain Riot's bald head advertising shampoo, but I ran out of time. Okay, but if we go inside here, we have the salon. Now as you can see over at the desk, I have kind of finished decorating this. We have like some hairspray for sale and some shampoos and the logo on the hair, which looks super good, and some more of the bead things because oh my god, I really wanted to put them everywhere, but I just can't. But yeah, this is the kind of desk area. We then of course have our waiting room area. The light and everything is still kind of bugging me, but I did my best to kind of light it properly. We have all of our posters, some magazines and stuff. I love the kind of glass block things over here, and then of course we have our main kind of hair styling area, which is all of the mirrors, which looks super cute. I kind of wish I put something on like the wall above here, but nothing kind of fit nicely. I did try and put like writing and stuff, but it kind of just looked really squished. But yeah, we have this area. We have like the hair dyeing station. The logo is here as well. But all of this is definitely my favorite corner. I just think it looks really cute. Then of course we have the hair washing area where you can sit and kind of have your hair washed. The lighting over here especially, like I feel like I need a light here, but when I put one here it was too bright. Like there's no kind of perfect balance. But yeah, I do really like this area. And then finally we have like the hair machine things at the back here. Now I did shrink this area quite a lot. As you can see, it was like this far back before, kind of back in here, but I made it a lot smaller because I felt like it was unnecessarily large. But I love the archway. I love all the hair things. We have some more of the beads and the very cute kind of area where you can sit and kind of have your hair. Oh my god, it so nearly works. You can sit and have your hair curled or whatever these are actually for. But that is pretty much it for the hair salon. I actually love this a lot more than I thought I would. I think we've done a pretty good job. It's definitely a good addition to Los Angeles, but I just want to check the plot data quickly. Is it going to make me cry? Okay, 25% isn't that bad. But yeah, that is it for today's video. That is Gloss Styles, my latest, you know, Bloxburg business venture in Los Angeles. As per usual, let me know what you think down below, and also let me know what you guys would like to see next in the town. I do have all of the buildings already picked, but I want to see if there's any that you guys guys are kind of, you know, more interested in than others, I am going to be real with you. So I've saved this for the end for the people who truly watch all my videos. But so, you know, at the start when I briefly showed this and I was like, I'm not going to tell you what it is. This is actually going to be a new detective agency. So for those who have been here for quite a while, my original detective agency was in the original Los Angeles. But then obviously I got rid of Los Angeles and decided to try and make this really big high-tech detective agency, which I've never finished because I felt like it's far too big. I felt like I kind of didn't need to do that. So I've decided we're going to downsize and go back to our roots and have it in Los Angeles again. But yeah, that may be the next one if you guys want to see that next. But yeah, that is it for today's video. As per usual, all my channel members, Nitro Roosters, and merch buyers will be on screen now. Also, I'm planning to revamp this kind of image that you're seeing. Like, I want to make it a lot cooler for you guys. But anyways, thank you so much for joining the channel, boosting the Discord server, and buying my merch. I love you all, and in general, I love you all so much, glossettes. XOXO, Glossy Gal.